Hey everyone, Jen at Ink Paper Rubber. I am back again. I was bound and determined to get this final video in for you today. Just have a few things to show you. The last order was kind of a hodgepodge of things, but I wanted to share it with you. Some of them, unfortunately, are already gone. We have had people in shopping today. I think people, after they were done at the expo, were coming by, so some of these things have already gone, but I want to show them to you anyway because you may want to get them. I know, busy day, and I still have a lot to do ahead of me. I still have to rearrange everything so I can get all this stuff hung up before tomorrow and get a newsletter. I'll probably do the newsletter when I get home tonight, so it'll probably be late and I may not get it done. If I don't, I'll try and get it out tomorrow. But anyhow, let me show you what I got. First of all, I was really excited to finally get some 3D Impresslits in from Tim Holtz. You may recall that these were announced last July, and then because of production issues, Tim was not really happy with the quality of them, and so they pushed them off, and they are just now finally coming out. And the two that we got in today is this one here, which is the Radiant Impresslits. You get two different sizes of these, and if you recall, these are a combination 3D embossing folder and die all in one. And in fact, let me come over here. I should have grabbed it so that I could actually show it to you. So here is the Radiant, and it looks kind of like a traditional embossing folder, except that it has a die embedded right in it. So at the same time that it is embossing, it is also doing your die cutting. The other one we got in, which sadly has already sold out, but I will get some more in as soon as possible, is this one, which is called Star Trim, and you get actually two different sizes of it. And it is the same principle. It is an embossing folder, and it also die cuts at the same time. And of course, I had to play with some of them. And here is the smaller of the Radiant, and I will show you here just so you can compare size-wise. That's the larger of the two, and this is the smaller. And this one was cut out of our silver Star Dream paper, and you can look and see all that really beautiful detail that you get in there. So this is just our silver Star Dream paper. This was just a piece of purple cardstock that I die cut it out of, and it worked great. And then these two were just white cardstock that I used our gilding polish on. And so I colored my paper first, and then I die cut it. And that, I think, has two layers of the I think that's the red bronze gilding polish on just white cardstock, and so that came out really well. One thing I did discover is a lot of times with these 3D embossing, I think it helps to wet your paper beforehand, but truthfully I found with this that I think it works a little bit better. For one thing, it's much easier to get out of the embossing folder and die if it's not wet when you do it. This one I got wet, and you can see it kind of got torn up a little bit taking it out of there. But when I did this one, I did not get it wet at all, and you still can see all the great detail you got. But as much as I love that one, I am in love with the Star Trim. This was some black cardstock, and on this one I didn't have any of the silver gilding polish, although to look at that you wouldn't know it. What I used was the pearl gilding polish, and I did, I think, 3 coats on the black cardstock to get the coverage that I wanted. And look at the detail. Look at that background, how much detail is in that background. I just think that is absolutely stunning. This is the bigger of the two Star Trims, and this is the smaller, and it is small, but look, you can see, come on, focus in, how much detail there is in that, even in that little teeny tiny thing. But what really surprised me, and as beautiful as I think this is, I had also done the pearl gilding polish on just a piece of white cardstock, and I think that came out absolutely gorgeous. It has this beautiful shimmer to it. It's just kind of a little bit of a pearly white color, and again, it has all that great detail in the background. Look at that. Look how gorgeous that is. Again, this is just a regular piece of white cardstock, and I've used some of that pearl gilding polish. So definitely need to get some more of the gilding polishes back in stock. We actually have some new opal ones coming that we're going to try out for our Shop Hop Make and Take, and if those work out well, I'll definitely get some more of those in also. All right, next up is a stencil that I've been waiting to get in for a while. It's by Alexandra Rinke. We've had some of other her stencils and her washi tapes, and I think this one is really, really fun. It's called Dot Grid, and I like it. It is just a very regular little tiny dot grid, except thrown in there here and there are these dots of different sizes. So I think that would be a really fun background. We also got in more of the Versafine Clair ink. I know some of you have been waiting on that. I think we used the black last week in our Make and Take, and so many of you loved it. So I do have some of the black back in stock, and you can see I always test these out with this solid red rubber stamp. You can see how solid that is, and a lot of times that can be really difficult to get a clean stamp with it. And I did not use the Misty to stamp any of these. It was on that stamping block, so this was stamped one time, and you can see what a gorgeous, gorgeous image that gives with that ink. The other thing that I really like about it is that you can also do fine detailed things as well. So it is a really versatile ink. You can also, it is waterproof, so you can use watercolors with it. We used this ink in our watercolor class yesterday. I also got back in this beautiful purple ink. It is Fantasia, and here is what that color looks like when it is stamped. And I got two new to us colors in this time. I got in Rainforest, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous green. Here you can see the rainforest here, how pretty that is. And finally, I got in a new brown. It is called Fallen Leaves, and this is a very, very gray brown. Here you can see it there, and you might even look at that and think that that was black. But I think when you compare it to the black, you can see that it's really not, and you can see some of the brown in it. And just for comparison's sake, here was the brown that we had previously, which was the pine cone, and that is much more of a reddish brown, and the Fallen Leaves is more of a gray brown. So those are the colors that we have in. And last but not least, got in some new stamping mats, and I have a couple of those left over. This is what we use in our classroom to stamp on. They're inexpensive. They're only $5, and they make a really great surface for stamping on. So anyhow, as you can see, I still have all my paper smooches and Sunny Studios over there, but I'm getting ready to try and get all of this put out now. So we have so much great stuff. I hope if you have a chance, you will stop by this weekend and check it all out. And I hope you have a really wonderful weekend, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye.